Did he know he was going to die? Was he suffering? How long did it take? All those things just torture you forever, to know that you couldn't do anything to save your child, and you spend your whole life protecting them, guiding them, being there for them, and the minute they needed you the most, you just couldn't do anything. Danny, when he was doing something he loved, he just wanted to make the most of absolutely everything, and just lived his life to the full, and just enjoyed himself.
He was just very happy-go-lucky. You know, worked at McDonald's when he was home from university. University lad, loved life, loved going out with his friends in the weekend, and he loved his music festivals, so this is why he was always trying to get abroad, and this was just another one that he was going to in Belgium.
He was just the most laid-back person that you could ever meet. So the first thing we knew, it was Wednesday evening. We'd just had dinner and the police arrived at the door and started asking lots of questions. They'd got Danny's student union card, asking us if that was Danny's card, was he in Amsterdam, was this a photograph of his tattoo? We said yeah, and they just kept asking question after question, and I can remember in the end just saying, is he dead? And they said yeah, Danny's dead. We were told that Danny had been robbed, and that's when he spoke to his murderer, and he was sort of telling him, come this way, so we presume he was taking him, well, telling him he was taking him back to his hotel. They were walking along, they were laughing, fist pumping, getting along great. Danny tried to leave a few times and he kept beckoning him back and saying, come this way, and then just walking along, and then suddenly just pulled out a knife and started stabbing him. There were no crosswords, no fight, no arguments, nothing, just randomly pulled it out of his bag.
I mean, standing where it happened, you can't even imagine that your feet are stood where his feet were, where he was being literally murdered. Like, you just cannot even fathom that. I mean, looking down at the steps where his body was thrown by the murderer, just kicked down some steps, there was crisp packets, rubbish, cigarettes, just thinking that your brother was lying there dead for nearly an hour and nobody noticed. He was just there, covered in his own blood. Somebody that you've loved for your entire life and spent every day with, and that somebody just threw him away like he was completely nothing. As a family as well, you just always got that one person missing. It's never ever going to be the same, nothing's ever going to feel the same, and the tiny little things that you would get to enjoy in life that you should be able to enjoy is just a million times worse. We haven't just lost a brother, we've lost ourselves as well.
I think what people don't realise is that your happiest times turn into your worst times, because we've not celebrated Christmas since, we've not done presents on Christmas morning, we've sat in the house by ourselves on Christmas Day. You dread birthdays, you dread Christmas, you avoid holidays because it's just too painful. And I think the longer it goes on, it gets harder, because people think you're going to be recovering and you're going to feel okay, and you don't. You just feel worse, because reality hits more. You realise you're never going to see him again, and so I think the longer it goes on, the harder it gets. And I think you don't want people to forget him. You don't want him to be a memory. So I think the harder it gets harder as time goes on, whereas people think it will get easier, it doesn't.